Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1038 of our daily content grind, and today it's News Roundup. And I was worried because News Roundup as of last night was actually looking kind of thin. I didn't have like a top story to lead with per se, and it was just going to be one of those, oh, we'll just kind of catch up with the general stuff kind of news week. And then Amazon Denmark screwed up. A few different Amazon sites over in Europe actually screwed up as they started posting listings and full photos of Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, a toy that I feel like Hasbro was sitting on until San Diego Comic-Con. The secret's out. So now we get to look at this, the heir apparent to Earthrise Optimus Prime, and from first glance, this thing is already really nice looking. It is a full-featured Optimus Prime. It is animation accurate with the blue windows. Very solid looking in the vehicle mode. I don't see feet sticking out. And yeah, it's very reminiscent of the original G1 Optimus Prime. Love seeing that. Trailer's got roller. It's got the repair drone in the back with its arms articulated. All that's cool to see. Let's see. Yep, traditional like animation gray striping. I'm certain some anniversary version of this will come out at some point. We'll have translucent windows, darker shades of red and blue, the traditional silver and blue striping. I'm sure that's to come. But for now, it is Studio Series 86, which means it's animation accurate. Oh, look at that. They didn't mess with the gun either. It's just straight up the standard G1 Optimus Prime rifle. Great to see. We're getting a few blast effects along with it. Look at the articulation range. I love seeing that. I like seeing hip skirts as well instead of it being built into the top of his hip. Not, so it's not actually the hip hinge like it is on some other figures. That's good to see. Yeah, it looks like articulated hands as well. Nice to see. No sign of the wheels in the legs. No sign of where the wheels go in this thing. The drone and roller can combine. That's neat. It's good. It gives them a little bit more playability. The one thing about an Optimus Prime like this is that you are lacking in playability because the trailer doesn't do nearly as much as some of the other Commander class toys. So it is just a big hollow box. It is in scale with him this time. That's good to see. Gets the axe, even though that's not in the movie. The blast effects for Prime rocketing off for his charge into Autobot City. That's a cool touch. Yeah, looking at the side of this, I can see a lot of extra paneling. I can see a lot of extra hinges to make the transformation work. I'm really interested in just how this whole thing transforms. Even the ears are articulated. You can move the ears, apparently. And Prime can do like the signature pointing pose that a lot of Prime toys try to get in. At least a lot of like the model kit figures and things. It's just a really fully fleshed out package as far as Optimus Primes go. Really nice. Weapons store, accessory parts store in the trailer. That's good. It's a really impressive piece. Now, the photos are being kind. We have not, they haven't shown anything from the back because we know in order to accommodate such a screen-accurate Optimus Prime and such a clean vehicle mode requires a large backpack full of panel parts. That's kind of unavoidable. MP Optimus version 3 did the exact same thing. Apparently, this toy is taking a lot of cues from that. It is really nice looking, though. I can't really argue about how nice it looks. So, yeah, expect that to be announced at San Diego Comic-Con. That's probably when we'll find out release date. I'm expecting the $90 price point, despite the hollow trailer that doesn't do as much. Because I think they're just going to make the Optimus Prime just super dense in engineering. I'd also like to see a scale shot, just to see if this really is, like... Because this doesn't look Voyager class. This looks a little bit bigger. I don't know. It's hard to tell without a comparison. I'm looking forward to someone getting it in hand so we can see everything about it. Speaking of really good Optimus Prime toys for the year, though, there is a listing for a new Missing Link figure, and this one is marked as C-01S Sentinel Prime. The C-01 implies that it is the original Optimus Prime for Missing Link. which is rumored to be an orange and blue repaint. And I'm kind of staggered by this. Why? Why? I mean, Sentinel Prime is a thing in G1, but not the original G1 cartoon toy line. You know, why would you do Sentinel Prime as a blue Optimus Prime repaint? It makes no sense. It really does make no sense. I'm genuinely wondering what they're doing. Especially, like, they have Ultra Magnus. They have Shattered Glass. They have Nemesis Prime. They have umpteen variations of G1 Optimus Prime they could go with. For some reason, they have opted to go with a completely different color scheme that we've never seen on Prime before. I don't understand. I am genuinely confused by this choice, Takara. Oh well. Let's hope it looks good at least. I don't know. I want the Magnus personally. I don't even need the armor. I just want the white Prime. Alright, the Star Raiders have expanded. We finally have some shots of Road Pig. We will start with the box, which of course looks pretty standard. We know that this particular release is not getting any specialty packaging like Velocitron or even Toxitron got. It's just standard Legacy United boxes. More akin to the Beast Wars exclusives that Walmart got during Legacy. Around that time. Around that vibe. We also have official images of it, though, and Road Pig looks pretty much what I expect. It's the Junkion retooled into the G1 laser cycle, and it's gone through some pretty extensive retooling in order to make that work. The exhaust and translucent, that's obviously an homage to that. We have the new head, which is reminiscent. It's very ninja-like, which is the theme of the laser cycles, so not a bad take there. And then, yeah, it looks very much like... well, it looks as close to Road Pig as they could get with this mold. So Road Pig is very much an old school kind of motorcycle like Harley, where it's got like the big windscreen in the front and the very rounded front end with the big headlights. This is closer to like a dirt bike, or like a modern motorcycle. It's a little bit weird to see him that way, but it's as close as they were going to get. I pretty much called that this was going to be the repaint when you saw that the chest had 3 lights on it. That's absolutely going to be how it is. But yeah, it's not a bad look. It's not a bad look. It's just weird. It's weird to see like G2 getting love, right? And like I think I skipped on the first one. So now I need to go back and get that. I really don't want to. We'll see though. We'll see. It's another fun throwback. We got a behind the scenes on the brand new Metalhawk release. Though admittedly, I'm not sure why we needed a behind the scenes on it, because by their own admission, this was supposed to just be a package refresh. But because the run is fresh, they got to tweak a little bit. So they made sure that this leaned much closer to the toy colors rather than the animation colors, which basically just means just swapping a few colors of plastic and doing the exact same run again. And it's, I don't know. I mean, I think it's nice of them to do because it does bring a little bit of freshness to the packaging refresh. You know, if you weren't quite on board with Metalhawk before, here's another chance. Like, they've tweaked it a little bit, so maybe this time you're into it. It's a little bit more interesting than a standard packaging refresh, but it is also just like, I don't think this warrants a whole new behind the scenes on, you know, just slight color variation. It's still fine. It still looks good for Metalhawk, you know, and it's the Kingdom Cyclonus mold, which is one of my favorite modern molds. It's a very, very good toy, so if you missed out on it, please, by all means, give it a shot. This is not a bad iteration of it. Yeah, and it looks fine. It looks fine. It looks like Metalhawk. But yeah, it's a little bit of a dull release. But, you know, I gotta throw it in because it's news. It's news. Let's go over a little bit of Transformers 1 news for the week. We are getting closer and closer to that release date, me realizing I'm going to be in San Diego when it launches. But we've got a brand new TV spot featuring the main characters, showing their transformation schemes a little bit better. It's actually like the first time we've gotten to see Megatron's tank mode really well. So that's worth a look if you want to give that a shot. There's nothing spoilery in it at all. And then we have a look from the Kids' Choice Awards 2024, which, if you saw the original trailer, it's an extended version of their escape after they get the transformation cogs, like what happens when they start falling down the mountain trying to transform for the first time. It's an extended look at that sequence. And we do get an idea of like what they're actually on the run from in that scene. I won't spoil it any farther than that. Go watch it for yourself if you're curious. Again, I don't think it spoils too much, especially if you saw the first trailer. It's just a fun time. Let's see, what else we got here? A few more toys showed up. So I think we've seen this B-127. I think we've seen this one, which is just the Robot Battlers figure, which is nice. It actually turns into a nice version of his vehicle mode. But the big one, I think, is the fact that we have the official shots for Alpha Trion, who looks fine. He's not nearly as mossy as he is in the movie. But simple transformation on this figure, so no surprise that actually manages to work. Yeah, that just looks like him. And then we have Starscream, who is looking somewhat Tetrajet. Not a bad look in this mode. It seems accurate. I don't know. Like I haven't gotten enough looks of Starscream to really tell, and I want to see like a proper figure of Starscream to really figure out how well they're gonna do this. Doesn't look bad though. So if you're into the little gimmicky figures, we got a few more of those on the way. And then if you want really gimmicky, we got this. So this is the Race and Blast Megatron, or D16, and Whirlwing, his little mini-con partner for this. This is a heavy retool of 2015 Overload. You know, the mini-con deployer figure. You can see on the box that the tank mode is not accurate. Not even remotely accurate to how he looks in the movie. Obviously, the robot is only semi-accurate. It's gone through some heavy retooling to look like Megatron. But man, it's just... there is a big disappointment in me that we are actually seeing a brand new realm of Transformers in the movies, that we're doing CG animated for the first time. We're showing an origin story. It's a very different tone than most Transformer movies have been. I would have really liked to have seen them go all out and be just as refreshing on the toy aisle as they are in the show, as they are in the movie. So to get a retool of a nearly decade-old toy is just, it's disappointing is what it is. You know, and I understand they want gimmicky figures on the shelves because little kids respond better to those and like action featured kind of toys. But I don't think this is the way to go about it. And I don't know. It's just not. It's not for me. I'll say that. Like item wise, it's not for me. I just wish they'd do more. I wish they would be doing better. You know, I want the toys to be cool. I want the movie to be cool so the toys feel cool and I want to pick them up. That said, I did find an Arachnid today, which is like the first Arachnid toy I've enjoyed. Let's see. Also, if you want to see it a little bit early and you happen to be in Mexico, there is actually going to be a pre-release of the movie. You get to actually watch it in advance. See, the advanced screening is July 24th. That's a huge jump. You know, because that's 2 months ahead of its actual release. That's actually impressive. Only 15 people are going to get selected. So, good luck to you. If you're living in Mexico, you might be one of the lucky winners to actually get to see it as early as possible, ahead of everybody else. I hope you enjoy it, because apparently it's pretty good. Alright, so that's our one updates. Let's see, we got one more little update from Hasbro for the week. So, the classic Hero Teams figures have not died, much to my shock. I don't see any of my local stores carrying these anymore, outside of, like, Ross still has a pile of Primals, which is why it's surprising that we have another Primal. So, this is a repaint of the previous one. I've got the previous one. It's a fun little figure. This one is done a little bit more cartoon accurate, so it does... it is intended to represent Optimus Primal from Beast Wars a little bit more closely than the first toy. Not a bad idea. But then we do have one completely new one. and that is Mirage. Now, we had a listing for Mirage a while back, and I think I just, like, immediately assumed Mirage was going to be based on the G1 character, but this one seems much more closely related to the live-action Mirage. That said, it's a retool of Quick Shadow. Might actually just be a... Yeah, it's just a redeco. It's not even a retool. You can see the head design on the artwork isn't even close to the head design. That's kind of disappointing. I was actually looking forward to this being a Mirage in this style, because I will admit, like, every now and then I kind of appreciate a simple gimmicky figure like this that's being genuine about the fact that it's just a gimmicky little flip-changey thing. Ah, well. Ah, well. At least the line's not dead. I'll take that, I guess. Alright, on the completely other end of the quality scale. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? 3-0 is showing off their DLX Optimus Prime repaint, Nemesis Prime. It's designed after the Revenge of the Fallen version of the character, which is an interesting choice, but you'll see why here in a minute. Yeah, like, Nemesis Prime, the colors just hit. And I think it helps that Movie Prime is a little bit evil looking. So this actually works pretty well for this design. That's not the end of it, though. It still includes the Jetfire parts, and the Jetfire parts don't really look repainted, to be honest, but they don't need to be. They're black. So it just looks like this massively super bulky, super powered Nemesis Prime. Nemesis Prime doesn't really get upgrades like Optimus Prime does, so this is actually a pretty cool thing to see. I mean, this is going to be ridiculously expensive because 3-0 is very high-end. It's very high quality, and this is a lot of parts. This is a big, chunky toy. Do we have a price point? Shipping out third quarter, available for pre-order. So I'm not seeing a number here. Yeah, and there's no pricing yet. There's only going to be 1,600 of them. So you have to get in on the pre-order if you actually are interested in this particular Nemesis Prime. If you want another option, though, Yolo Park just announced their Nemesis Prime kit, a redo of their AMK Pro Optimus Prime. And again, Nemesis Prime, they just look good. I'm still not a fan of Nemesis on G1 Prime, because I think it just looks a little bit too smooth, a little bit too heroic to really pass for the villain. But I know a lot of people who like Nemesis Prime no matter what form he comes in, so I'm sure you're gonna love this, and it's a good toy too. So that it has that going for it as well. Not a whole lot more to talk about on that one. Just it's another Black Optimus Prime. It seems to be a thing this week. Yolo Park is, however, teasing one more new project. We can see the silhouettes of the Transformers 1 cast, so they're apparently doing what I would assume would be AMK kits for them as well, similar to their Rise of the Beast kits, which is great to see. I would love to see like some really well-rendered versions of these, because I'm not sure how well-rendered the Hasbro offerings are going to be. Just saying. Let's see, what else we got this week for news? All right, so Takara is doing a collector card campaign for Transformers, doing it in 3 waves of 10. It is cards based on all of the Cybertron commanders. So Cybertron, Autobot, Maximal, what have you. And we're starting off with this range that you see in front of you, which is very Optimi heavy. I'm presuming that as later ones go on, we'll get into the non-Optimi, the Rodimus and the Star Sabers, etc. There's a few Beast Wars Optimus Primes missing from this. Obviously, Cybertron Prime is missing. I'm sure we're going to be seeing all of those eventually, but it's a nice little spread to get started. And it's a different thing for people to collect. Obtaining these cards. How do we obtain these cards? It's already live thanks to Twitch. We have images first have toys. Is there a campaign? Buy over 3,000 yen in Transform products at select Japanese stores and receive an exclusive toy card of past Cybertron/Autobot leaders for the last 40 years while supplies last. So, good luck. Good luck if you're curious in these. If you want a little bit of history, our friends over at the Sunbow and Marvel's archive have posted the storyboards for The Secret of Omega Supreme. So this is the flashback episode where we learn one of the origins of the Constructicons, as well as when Omega Supreme talked like a normal Transformer, and his history with the Constructicons. Interesting one to throw back to. So, a little bit of history now available for your perusal, if you so desire. And we're going to finish off with one last note about the Overwatch Transformers collab, which of course is underway right now. They actually announced a few concepts that didn't make the cut, which includes, let's see if I can see the characters. Farah, Lucio, and Wrecking Ball done up as Starscream, Soundwave, and of all things, Unicron. Okay. I'm just going to flat out say this. If anyone from Overwatch's team, I know, laughable, if anyone happens to be watching, I don't care about Overwatch. I really don't. It's not my kind of shooter game. That said, if I could have played as Unicron as a ball, just rolling around, yes, I would have bit Optimus and, like, RC and all that. That's fine, but that's standard fare. You do something weird, like tell me I can play as Unicron acting as a giant hamster ball of death. Now I'm interested. That would have gotten me into this. So you missed the ball on that one. I didn't mean to make a pun there. Yeah, for that, I think it should end now and escape while I still have some dignity. I apologize for punning at the last minute. But there you go. There's your news for the week. Thank you again, as always, for watching. And as always, I will see you next time.